Once upon a time, in a small, cheerful village, there lived a funny old grandpa named Mr. Fizzlewig. Mr. Fizzlewig was loved by everyone, especially the children. He wore round glasses, a big floppy hat, and always carried around strange gadgets he had invented. The funniest thing about him was his endless energy, which no one expected from an old man. Kids would laugh whenever he walked by, muttering to himself about this and that as he fiddled with his gadgets and inventions. One bright, sunny day, little Lily, a curious and cute girl with a big heart and sparkling eyes, skipped through the village square. Lily was loved by all and had a spirit of adventure, just like Mr. Fizzlewig, but she was a bit shy and had never actually spoken to him. Still, she found his ways quite amusing and liked watching him from afar. As she played near the village fountain, she suddenly saw Mr. Fizzlewig struggling with what looked like a giant umbrella attached to a bunch of springs and gears. She couldn't help but giggle at the sight. Mr. Fizzlewig looked over and noticed her standing there with a big smile. He waved and said, "Ah, young lady, come here. Come here, let me show you my newest invention." Lily hesitated, but her curiosity got the best of her. She walked over cautiously, and Mr. Fizzlewig gave her a warm smile. "This here," he said proudly, holding up the contraption, "is my weather predictor umbrella. If it rains, it opens automatically. If it's sunny, it closes. Isn't that brilliant?" Lily looked at it in amazement, but she had doubts. "Are you sure it works?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Mr. Fizzlewig chuckled and said, "Of course it works. I am a professional inventor after all." He gave the umbrella a tap, and it immediately shot open with a loud pop, sending a shower of confetti and feathers everywhere. Lily burst out laughing as confetti rained down on them both. Mr. Fizzlewig was surprised himself, but soon he joined in the laughter. He said maybe it needs a bit of fine-tuning. After all, predicting the weather is quite tricky business. Then, with a twinkle in his eye, Mr. Fizzlewig had an idea. "Lily," he said, "would you like to join me on an adventure? I need to gather a few things for my inventions and could use a clever assistant." Lily's eyes lit up and she nodded eagerly. She loved adventures but had never been on one with someone as funny as Mr. Fizzlewig. And so off they went into the woods just outside the village. Mr. Fizzlewig pointed out various plants and unusual rocks, talking about how they were useful in making his gadgets. At one point, he found a mushroom that glowed in the shade and put it in his hat, making it look like he had a little lantern on top of his head. Lily giggled as they walked along, listening to his stories about magical places and silly mishaps. They came to a large hill where Mr. Fizzlewig insisted there was a magic stone that he needed for his next invention. He tried to climb the hill, but his old knees weren't quite as nimble as they used to be. He wobbled and almost lost his balance before Lily quickly stepped up beside him. "I'll help you, Grandpa," she said with a grin. Together, they slowly made their way up the hill, Mr. Fizzlewig panting and laughing all the way. When they reached the top, they found a big, shiny stone that sparkled in the sunlight. Mr. Fizzlewig gasped. "That's it, the magic stone," he said triumphantly. But as he bent down to pick it up, he accidentally triggered a small trap he'd set as a prank years ago. With a loud whoosh out came a spray of water from the bushes, splashing both of them from head to toe. Lily squealed in surprise, but soon her squeals turned into laughter. Mr. Fizzlewig wiped his glasses and gave her a sheepish grin. "I must have forgotten I put that there," he said, trying to contain his own laughter. As they continued their journey back home, Mr. Fizzlewig talked about how it's important to try things, even if they seem silly, or even if they might not work out. "Sometimes my inventions do exactly what I want, but other times they surprise me," he said. "That's the joy of creating. You never know what might happen." By the time they returned to the village square, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. The villagers who were passing by noticed how soaked Mr. Fizzlewig and Lily were, and chuckled to themselves. But Lily and Mr. Fizzlewig didn't mind at all. They were both smiling and sharing in the laughter of their adventure. Just before they parted ways, Mr. Fizzlewig looked down at Lily with a twinkle in his eye. "Do you know what I learned today?" My dear Lily shook her head, curious. "He said I learned that adventures are much better with a friend like you. Someone who doesn't mind a little splash or a bit of silliness. Lily beamed and hugged him tightly. As Lily walked home, she thought about all she had learned that day. Mr. Fizzlewig had shown her that being curious and brave can lead to wonderful things, and that laughter can make any situation better. She also realized that trying new things, even if they seem a bit silly or uncertain, can lead to fun and memorable moments. So the lesson of the story is never be afraid to explore, to try new things, or to laugh at little surprises along the way. Because life is a wonderful adventure, just waiting to be discovered.